A. What are onomatopoeic words?
Onomatopoeic words are those which seem to sound like their meaning. The most obvious examples are verbs for the noises which animals make.
Cows moo.
Cats meow and purr.
Lions roar.
Bees buzz.
Small birds tweet.
B. Letters, sounds and their associations.
Certain combinations of sounds have particular associations in English.
Gr at the beginning of a word can suggest something unpleasant or miserable. For example, she was groaning with pain. Everyone was grumbling about the quality of the food. Don't be so grumpy. The teacher growled angrily at the boys.
Cl at the beginning of a word can suggest something sharp and or metallic. For example, click on login to enter the website. There was a loud clang as the metal bar hit the stone floor. Horses go clip-clop on the road.
Sp at the beginning of a word can suggest water or other liquids or powders. For example, she splashed water over her face to wake herself up. The meat was horrible and she spat it out. I never use hairsprays. He sprinkled sugar on his breakfast cereal and ate it quickly. Water was spurting out of the broken pipe.
W at the beginning of a word often suggests the movement of air. For example, he whistled and the horse ran towards him. Suddenly, a large insect whizzed over my head and scared me. Old Mr. Banks wheezed as he climbed the stairs.
Ash at the end of a word can suggest something fast and violent. For example, smash, dash, crash, bash, mash, gash. A smashed window, a car crash, sausages and mashed potato.
A. Homophones and homographs.
Homophones are words with different meanings which are pronounced in the same way but are spelt differently. For example, row, as in at the end of the row, and row.
Homographs are words which are written in the same way but have different meanings and may be pronounced differently. Compare ROW in "We had a row about who should pay for the tickets" and "He sat at the end of the row."
B. Homophones.
Air, allowed, break, fair, phase, flew, great, grown, horse, its, lays, male, meet, moan, hour, pair, pale, pain, peel, place, practice, pray, raise, read, rain, write, sail, seen, sight, sow. soul, some, steak, tea, there, through, tire, toe, waste, weight, week, weather, wine, wood.
C. Homographs with differing pronunciations.
Check the pronunciation of the words in bold. You can use the list of phonemic symbols on page 258.
I live in the north of England.
My favourite rock group is singing live on TV tonight.
I read in bed each night.
I read War and Peace last year.
The lead singer in the group is great.
Lead pipes are dangerous.
The wind blew the tree down.
Wind the rope round this tree.
She wound the string round the parcel and tied it up.
He suffered a terrible wound in the war.
This book is called English Vocabulary in Use.
You must know how to use words as well as their meaning.
They lived in a large old house.
The buildings house a library and 2 concert halls, as well as a theatre.
The sow has 5 piglets.
The farmers sow the seeds in the spring.
Bathing the baby at night may help her to fall asleep.
On a sign at a beach, no bathing.
A. What are uncountable nouns?
Countable nouns can be used with a or an and made plural. For example, a hat, 2 hats.
Uncountable nouns are not normally used with a or an or the plural. For example, information, not an information or some informations.
You can learn uncountable nouns in groups associated with the same subject or area. Here are some useful headings. B. Travel.
Luggage. Baggage. More common than luggage in American English. Accommodation. Money. Currency. Information. Transport.
C. Food.
The word food is usually uncountable, and so are many food names. Other uncountable food words can be added to this list. Sugar, rice, spaghetti, butter, bread, flour, soup.
D. Abstract uncountable nouns and nouns for activities.
She gave me some advice on how to study for the exam.
I picked up some interesting knowledge on that course.
She's made a lot of progress in a very short time.
She has done some research on marine life.
They've done a lot of work on the project.
The teacher always gives us homework at the weekend.
Do you have any experience of working with children?
Wealth does not guarantee happiness, but neither does poverty.
E. Material and resources.
For making clothes, furniture, etc. Cloth, for example silk, leather.
For energy, coal, oil.
For buildings, stone, brick, plastic.
General. Equipment. Software.
E. Material and resources.
for making clothes, furniture, etc. Cloth, for example silk, leather.
A. Tools, instruments, pieces of equipment.
Scissors, pliers, earphones, tweezers, tongs, headphones, binoculars, scales, handcuffs, shears, glasses or spectacles, goggles.
B. Things we wear.
Clothes, pyjamas, knickers or pants, underpants or pants, jeans, tights, overalls, leggings, dungarees, shorts, trousers, braces, swimming trunks or trunks.
C. Other useful words.
The graphics in this game are amazing.
When will the goods be delivered?
The architect inspected the foundations before declaring that the premises were safe.
The military authorities have established their headquarters in the old town hall.
The acoustics in the new opera house are near perfect.
The contents of the house were sold after her death.
Looks are less important than personality in a partner.
As you come to the outskirts of the village, there are traffic lights. Turn left there.
The stairs are a bit dangerous. Be careful.
The proceeds of the concert are going to the Children's Fund.
A terrorist has escaped from prison. Her whereabouts are unknown.
D. Words with plural form, but used mostly with singular verbs.
Names of some games: billiards, dominoes, drafts, darts, bowls, cards.
Names of subjects or activities: physics, economics, classics, gymnastics, athletics.
A. Countable and uncountable nouns.
When we use a countable noun, we are thinking of specific things that can be counted. For example, 2 glasses.
When we use an uncountable noun, we are thinking of stuff or material, or the idea of a thing in general. For example, this door is made of glass.
Stuff or materials: glass. Things: a glass or glasses. Cloth: a cloth. Fish: a fish. Work: a work.
Be careful. There's broken glass on the road.
I need a cloth to wipe the table.
We had fish for dinner.
Hamlet is one of Shakespeare's most famous works.
Here are some more nouns that can be used in both ways with different meanings.
Countable. There's a black hair in my soup. It must be yours. Uncountable. She has beautiful red hair. Did you buy a paper this morning? The printer has run out of paper. They are campaigning to help indigenous peoples of South America. I love meeting people from different countries. Can I borrow your iron? My shirt is a bit creased. People used to think ships made of iron would sink. I had some interesting experiences during my trip to Latin America. She has little work experience. The city has a yearly arts festival. He studied arts, not sciences, at uni. Have you been to the Modern Art Museum? It's wonderful. I've seen that film 3 times. We had some good times at university. Time passes very slowly if you have a boring job.
B. Food. The names of food items often have a different meaning, depending on whether they are used as countable or uncountable nouns. See fish above.
Coffee or tea.
A coffee and 2 teas.
Potato.
Just 2 potatoes, please.
Would you like some chocolate?
Would you like a chocolate?
Salt and pepper.
A pepper.
A hot dog with onion.
An onion.
A. Bit and piece. You can make many uncountable nouns singular and countable by adding a piece of, a bit of, or a little bit of. Similarly, you can make such nouns plural with pieces of or bits of. Bit is less formal than piece, and they are not always interchangeable. Bit can be used with all types of nouns. Piece tends to be used more with uncountable nouns. Bit suggests a smaller amount than piece.
How many pieces of luggage have you got with you?
The police collected bits of information from different sources.
Chopin wrote some wonderful pieces of music.
Before you go to England, I should give you 2 bits of advice.
He spends all his money buying new bits of computer equipment.
B. Words that go with specific uncountable nouns.
Weather, rain, sun, lightning, wind. Today's weather will be variable. In the north, there are likely to be heavy showers of rain. The sunny spell of weather that we have had this last week will continue in much of the south, although there may be occasional rumbles of thunder and flashes of lightning in some areas, with some quite loud claps of thunder in 1 or 2 areas. These will be followed by a few spots of rain, but gusts of wind should soon blow them away, and the sunshine will then return.
See Unit 6 for more weather words.
Groceries. I need a loaf of bread, a couple of slices of ham, 2 bars of chocolate, a tube of toothpaste, 2 cartons of milk, and 3 bars of soap. Slice can also be used with toast, bread, meat, and cheese.
Nature.
Look at the ladybird on that blade of grass.
What's happened? Look at that cloud of smoke hanging over the town.
We could see little puffs of smoke coming out of the volcano.
Let's go out and get a breath of fresh air.
Put another lump of coal on the fire, please. Lump can also be used with sugar.
Other words.
I had an amazing stroke of luck this morning.
I've never seen him do a stroke of work. Only in negative sentences, more emphatic than a bit of work.
I've never seen him in such a fit of temper before.
The donkey is the basic means of transport on the island.
Jeans must be the most useful article of clothing ever invented. Jeans must be the most useful item of clothing ever invented.
There was an interesting item of news about France on TV last night.
C. A state of.
Nouns used with a state of are usually abstract and include chaos, tension, confusion, health, disorder, uncertainty, poverty, agitation, disrepair, and flux. For example, the transport system is in a state of chaos.
A. People. Collective nouns are used to describe a group of the same people or things.
A group of people. Smaller number.
A crowd of people. Large number.
A gang of thieves. Rather negative.
B. Words associated with certain animals.
A flock of sheep or birds. For example, geese or pigeons.
A herd of cows, deer, goats.
A shoal of fish, or any particular fish. For example, a shoal of herring or mackerel. Note the use of singular here.
A swarm of insects, typically flying ones. For example, a swarm of bees or gnats.
A pack of can be used for dogs, hyenas, wolves, etc., as well as for playing cards.
C. People involved in the same job or activity. These nouns are used with singular or plural verbs, depending on your point of view.
A team of reporters or rescue workers was or were at the scene of the disaster.
The crew was or were saved when the ship sank.
The company is or are rehearsing a new production.
The cast is or are all amateurs.
The public has, or have, a right to know the truth.
The staff are on strike. Normally used with a plural verb, general word for groups who share a place of work. For example, teachers in a school, people in an office.
D. Physical features of landscapes.
In the picture we can see a row of cottages near a clump of trees with a range of hills in the background. Out on the lake there is a small group of islands.
E. Things in general.
A pair of birds sitting on a branch.
A couple of strawberries.
A pile or heap of papers. Or clothes, dishes, toys, etc.
A bunch of flowers, or grapes, bananas, etc.
A stack of chairs, or tables, boxes, logs, etc.
A set of tools, or pots and pans, dishes, etc.
A. Containers and contents.
Bag, barrel, basket, bottle, bowl, box, bucket.
Can, carton, case, for example, for glasses. Crate, glass, jar, jug, mug.
Pack, packet, pan, pot, sack, tin, tub, tube.
B. More information about these containers.
container, bag, usually made of cloth, paper, plastic. Typical contents, sweets, shopping, mail. Barrel, wood and metal.
Oil.
Wine, beer. Basket, wicker, metal. Shopping, clothes, waste paper. Bottle, glass, plastic. Milk, lemonade, wine. Bowl, china, glass, wood. Fruit, soup, sugar. Box, cardboard, wood. Matches, tools, toys, chocolates. Bucket, metal, plastic. Sand, water. Can, tin. Cola, beer. Carton, card. Milk, juice. Case, leather, wood, cardboard. Jewellery, spectacles, wine. Crate, wood, plastic. Bottles. Glass, glass. Milk, water, wine. Jar, glass, pottery. Jam, honey, olives, instant coffee. Jug, pottery. Milk, cream, water. Mug, pottery. Tea, coffee, cocoa. Pack, card. Cards, 6 cans of cola or beer. Packet, card, paper, plastic.
Tea, biscuits, cereal, crisps.
Pan, metal. Food that is being cooked. Pot, plastic, metal, pottery. Yogurt, plant, paint. Sack, cloth, plastic. Coal, rubbish. Tin, tin. Tomatoes, sardines, fruit. Tub, wood, plastic, card. Flowers, rainwater, ice cream. Tube, soft metal, plastic. Toothpaste, paint, ointment.
A. Phrasal verbs with do and make.
Phrasal verb, do without, meaning, manage without. Example, we'll have to do without a holiday this year as money is so short. Do away with, abolish, get rid of. It should be our ambition to do away with poverty in the world. Make for, move in the direction of. Let's make for the city centre and look for a restaurant there. Make of, think, opinion. What do you make of the new software? Make off, leave hurriedly. He made off as soon as he heard their car turn into the drive. Make up for, compensate for. The superb food at the hotel made up for the uncomfortable rooms.
B. Meanings of phrasal verbs.
Some phrasal verbs have a number of different meanings. For example, do up can mean not only fasten, but also renovate and put into a bundle. Similarly, make out can mean claim, manage to see, and understand. Make up can mean compose or invent. It can also mean constitute or form. Put cosmetics on, prepare by mixing together various ingredients, and make something more numerous or complete.
C. Collocations with do and make. There are a lot of other common collocations based on do and make. Note that most combinations referring to activities, work or duty use do, whereas those which lead to an end product, for example, tea, a cake, a noise, a toy boat, a profit, use make.
You do your homework. You do the housework. You do some gardening. You do exercise. You do the washing up. You do your best. You do the shopping. You do the cooking. You do business with, and so on.
You make a cup of tea. You make arrangements. You make an agreement. You make a suggestion. You make a decision. You make war. You make an attempt. You make a phone call. You make the best of. You make an effort. You make an excuse. You make a mistake. You make a profit or a loss. You make love. You make the most of. You make a noise. You make a good or bad impression. You make a success of. You make allowances for. You make a gesture or a face. You make fun of. You make a fuss of. You make a go or a success of. And so on.
A. Phrasal verbs with bring. Each example is a typical spoken sentence, and a more formal equivalent is provided in brackets.
My father's parents brought him up in the country because they thought that country life was better for children.
Don't give up. I'm sure you'll bring it off in the end.
Cold winds always bring on her cough.
The strike brought about a change of government.
Ford Motors are bringing out an interesting new model in the spring.
I hope they don't bring back capital punishment.
They promised to bring down taxes, but they have actually raised them.
Inflation will probably bring down the government.
Keep trying to persuade him, and you'll bring him round to your point of view.
B. Phrasal verbs with take.
Doesn't he take after his father? They even sound the same.
I wish I could take back what I said to her.
It's hard to take in his lectures. He speaks in such an abstract way.
She was completely taken in by him and agreed to give him all her money.
Sales have really taken off now. We should make a good profit this year.
The plane took off 2 hours late.
She's very good at taking off her teacher. She sounds just like her.
We'll have to take on more staff if we're to take on more work.
Nelson is going to take over as manager in July.
She took to him at once, and they soon became close friends.
When did you take up golf?
C. Common expressions with bring and take.
The new regulations will be brought into force in May.
His research brought some very interesting facts to light.
Matters were brought to a head when Lily was sacked.
It's better that everything should be brought into the open.
His new girlfriend has really brought out the best in him.
Don't let him take advantage of you.
After 20 years of marriage, he takes her for granted.
I took it for granted you'd come. You always do.
She immediately took control of the situation.
His unkind words took my breath away.
The story takes place in Mexico.
Leaving his job before he's found a new one is taking a risk.
It's impossible to take such a silly suggestion seriously.
Don't forget to take travel costs into account in the budget.
He doesn't seem to take pride in his work.
You must take the opportunity to visit the castle while you're here.